Kettenkarussell, Maybe, released July 7, 2018, exactly 4 years ago from the time I'm making this video, on the Geeglish label. Do a search for Kettenkarussell on YouTube and you get Slav's channel. Thank you, Slav, for posting this. And note the number of views, going on 18 million soon. And so I have to ask myself, what is the magic of this track? Look how many people love it. So we're going to recreate it, and I'll give you my humble opinion as to the magic of it. And there's no definitive answer as to what the magic is, but write down what you think it is in the comment section below. It would be nice if all nearly 18 million listeners were subbed to my channel. And so at the very least, if you're not subbed, go ahead and subscribe now and click on the bell for all. And now's a great time to do that. If I describe the song Maybe to you in words, it would seem very formulaic. A generic 4 on the floor beat, 909 with alternating open hat, right around 125 BPM, a Juno chord playing a major or minor 7th chord, and it has to have a vocal sample thrown in, and a smattering of ear candy riffs sprinkled here and there, and maybe a Latin drum or two to give it the touch of the beach resort. Truly, this could be made of those free computer music magazine loops, but it has several unique qualities that make it greater than the sum of its parts, like most great songs are. For me, it's a combination of things that are different and work together to make it very special and one of my top 10 house playlist songs of all time. One thing I've noticed about Maybe and all my top 10 favorite house songs is that it doesn't try to do too much. It can be separated into its elements by your ear, and it is clean and minimal in a way. Another one of my top 10 house favorites of all time is Dreamatic Audio Trip, which has the same type of beat, a melodic bass and the Juno chords, and a smattering of ear candy bell here and there. But look how those parts summed up in a completely different way. The analysis. First of all, let's take a look at the beat. As I said, it's a plain 4 on the floor beat. The unique thing, though, is the way it interacts with the bass line. So the bass line never hits on the kick or snare. Okay, I'm going to play it really slowly, and you'll be able to hear the way this works. It's very unique and definitely part of the magic. I'm just using Ableton's 909, but I've added a couple things to it. On the open hat, in the original, it sounds very stereo sounding, so I put a delay on the open hat. And the hi-hats seem to have a unusual sound of kind of reversing sound to them, but I don't think it really was. And so I put an auto filter, and I'm running it at 1/16. So every beat, this filter makes a kind of reversing sound on the closed hi-hats. And then on the kick, I put the channel EQ and turned the low all the way up, mid and high a little bit down. The 909 kick wasn't quite as bassy as the kick in the original. And if the kick's the magic, then you want to add some bass to the kick. And for the Latin flair, there are these bongos. And this is one of Ableton's kits. Then we have the Maybe vocal sample. The vocal sample comes from Faith Evans' Love Like This from 1998. So they used a 20-year-old vocal sample. That's pretty cool. The vocal sample in Maybe is probably the most magical part of it. You hear a lot of songs today that have oohs, ahs, one-word samples as the sample. To me, this is far and above any of those because it puts you in a certain mindset when you hear maybe this could last forever. You're in the club with your girlfriend, and the fact that the sample is a little chipmunky is very nostalgic, isn't it? Because it brings to mind back in the day when, in order to beat match, you had to maybe speed up your recording a little bit and get that chipmunky sound. And the first artist that did it probably didn't want that on there, but then it became a part of the genre. So now when you hear that, it puts you in that nostalgic mood. So yeah, I would say number one part of the magic is probably picking this sample with these words that have this kind of a meaning. That's important. But there is a little problem. The vocal has music with it. So what do you do there? I found this site. I'm not affiliated with it or anything. LALAL.ai. And you just drag any music on there with vocals on it, and it will separate those out. And it did an impeccable job of doing that, a perfect job. And with the vocal sample, maybe I'm using a reverb with sidechain compression. Maybe this can last forever. I sampled it from the DX7, the Glockenspiel, for the ear candy. And then, of course, we have the chords. And for that, I use the XV5080. And I changed this patch. I started out with the jet pad. And the jet pad, I liked the voice, the ahs. But I didn't like the string that was with it. So I put the number 400, the violin with it. And I put this channel EQ on it here and boosted the mids way up, turned the lows completely down and the highs completely down. So it has a little bit of canned AM radio sound like the original. And these are the chords if you're interested in what they are. If you like this sort of video, you should join my Patreon. Come over there and share all of the live sets, including this live set and a lot for Boards of Canada, Aphex Twin, and the most important thing, a lot of the patches that go into this. So many patches, mostly for the Tau VSTs, because a lot of the music I like focuses on SH-101, the Junos, the Jupiters, and things like that. Although there are quite a few other things on there. But I hope to see you over there on Patreon and we can discuss it more. And in an upcoming video, I'll talk about another of my top 10 favorite all-time house records by Underground Resistance. Jupiter Jazz is the title. And in that recording, you can hear the roots of the artist Lone. You can definitely hear lots of Lone in that recording, even though that's a very early house recording. And it fits a bit of a different formula that had the TB303 acid line and things like that in it. So I'll go into another type of formula in the next one. So be sure and subscribe. I know you wanted this video to last forever, but I've got to get back to work. Next time though, maybe